Hey, everybody, and welcome to Killing Time. This is the show that searches for entertainment that does not suck. I am the man known as Ayaz, probably because that's what they named me when I was born, or sometime after I was born. I don't know exactly what time it was. With me, as always, well, most of the time, is the man who fought time and won. That's right. We're talking to Just Bob, JB, Juice Pop, the Gator Roll pioneer himself.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going great.
All right, so today we will be talking about something called Star Wars: The Last Jedi. There's a shock. It just opened up a couple of days ago, and we're not going to spoil it right away. When we have spoilers, we will have a big warning with some funky 80s music. So, hey, what did you think of the movie?
Overall, I enjoyed the movie. We always look for entertainment that does not suck. I think this does not suck. There are certainly things I really liked about it and things I didn't like about it. Honestly, like any Star Wars movie, I'm a big fan, so I have a little bit higher standard. You know, if I wasn't comparing it to anything that had come before or it wasn't so iconic, I'd probably say, awesome movie. But, obviously, if I can nitpick, there were some things that could have been improved. But, overall, I was entertained, and it did help. I went to one of the theaters where they serve you dinner, and they brought one pitcher of beer, and then I finished that, so they brought another pitcher of beer. So, it got even better as it went along.
I did not see this movie in a place that served beer. It was just a 9:45 a.m. show, which meant, if anything, they would have mimosas. But at this AMC, they don't have mimosas for some reason. Go figure. This should be something that should be done. I would think that the enjoyment of this movie might go up with alcohol. I will say that. I think it's definitely worth watching.
9:45, this is be a totally unbiased review for you because there's nothing great about 9:45 in the morning. Did you like the movie? I
did like it. I definitely liked it. Definitely like it better than the prequels. That's pretty easy to say. And it's all right. I'm
right there with you. I can't say it's a horrible movie, but I can't also say it's, the most amazing sci-fi space movie thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the general structure of the movie without spoiling anything. As you guys have seen the trailers, I'm sure at this point you know that there's a Star War of some kind. Again, because these guys just can't keep their stuff together, these two sides. First Order's back, and they've... actually, will this give away anything? Well, the First Order's taken over enough stuff that the Rebels have to deal with them. Simple as that, right?
Correct.
And obviously, you got Rey and Luke. Rey's trying to talk Luke into coming with her. I mean, that's kind of what's implied in the other movie. And let's see what else happens in the film. And then they fight, and then there's battles. I mean, this is kind of a paint by numbers kind of movie.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of my criticisms. It's very, three-part structure, basic acting. All the twists and turns you expect from, pretty much standard sci-fi fare. Nothing, that made it really, really memorable. But what they did well. Honestly, I don't want to bag on it. I did enjoy the movie, and I was entertained. I think it just, there are certain parts that took away from the whole for me, that made it not the perfect movie experience.
Yeah, I think we are judging it a bit harsh. If you're watching this now, like, we must hate this movie. It's like, no, I don't think either one of us hates this movie. I think we have reservations about it when it comes to this film. Definitely better than Justice League. Better than pretty much every DC movie. Maybe Wonder Woman could stand head to head with this. If you want to do that.
Yes. I do have to say the acting was very good. I mean, Star Wars movies usually have terrible acting, and this is one of the better casts they've put together for this, especially the young casts. You look back on some of the originals, and the acting, other than Harrison Ford, wasn't quite there, honestly.
So we were rewatching Star Wars, the original trilogy, on Saturday because we saw it on Sunday, and we're just watching how outclassed everyone is by Harrison Ford. Ford
he's in a whole different world. I watched him recently. I was like, wow, this shows is it showing how good an actor he is or how bad they were?
Mark Hamill's basically doing like a high school play version of acting. And it's just kind of like, but I wanted to go to the Tosh station. Whatever he's saying. It's like, okay, I don't know how long you've been acting, but
But all those years as the Joker paid off because he was pretty good in The Last Jedi.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely grown, and he's had enough time with that. So is this a movie you think that people should see in the theaters?
Yes. Oh, yes. Visually, it was awesome. I mean, it was, we didn't have a ton of the past, especially like we saw with the prequels, but there's a lot of space stuff. It's big, it's exploding, it's, I don't think you need 3D, though. I saw it in 3D, and I don't think I would have lost much in 2D. Honestly,
I did not see it in 3D. I could see what parts some of the battles might look pretty cool in 3D, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of great battles in this movie. Otherwise, I think it's almost like you have to see it in the theater only for the sake of dealing with pop culture. Because for the next 3 months, this is all anybody's going to be talking about. And references are going to come
Picking it apart. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think with that, we would say, watch the movie if you want to watch it. If you want to live in society, you have to watch the movie.
You need to see the movie. And it sounds like it made $450 million internationally and domestically this weekend. So obviously a lot of people saw it.
So we're not too worried about spoiling. So now we're going to spoiling time. So we're going to hit the bumper. All right. You've been warned. If for some reason you're watching this review before watching Star Wars, The Last Jedi, you're a weird person. And if you say, hey, I didn't get a warning, that thing you just saw was the warning. It looked like this.
Right? Yeah.
So you've been warned.
I got to say, with the internet, it'd be impossible to not have this thing spoiled already. You had to stay off the internet.
Yeah, it was not easy avoiding.
My goodness.
The other thing is I work at a company where they had press screenings and we had reviews already up, and they were spoiling the film like on the 8th. Like it took me a while to make sure I didn't get any of this information in my head. But then again, I will say this, and this will probably lose me lots of geek cred. I am not the biggest Star Wars fan. I don't follow it religiously. I do enjoy the films. I think they're fun. I think they are super overrated. It feels like the Super Bowl. Like, oh my gosh, it's the best thing in the world. It's like, is it? It's good. It's fun. It's good. I don't know if we need to go to this space where it's this religion, so to speak. So I do judge these as actual regular movies, nothing like, oh, is it the best Star Wars movie? Like, is this a good movie or not? So, what kind of points do you want to hit when it comes to spoiling this movie?
Well, spoiling this movie, I think, there's a big talk about how the critics love the movie, but a lot of the fans didn't. They're talking about the big disparity. And I think having a couple days to let it set in, I think I've figured out what the disparity is. If you are nostalgic for Star Wars movies, this one blows up everything, so to speak. It blows it all up. We don't find, Rey's no one special. Snoke is just killed. Mm-hmm. Luke is killed off, but I'll get to that later. I actually think that's really good, and I think it's good for the story and everything. But, all the things that people really wanted, they wanted to find out all this stuff, and they wanted Rey to be connected to a Skywalker or a Solo. And, I think they pretty much blew up the whole Skywalker thing. They're in the past. Now we're moving towards the future. So if you were nostalgic for old Star Wars, you hated this movie. If you went in like you, just looking to see if it was a good movie, you probably, enjoyed it a little bit more. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think that's about right. Because when it comes to the way this film is, the one thing my biggest qualm with this is the amount of quippiness in this movie, and there's some what's the word? The stuff that's out of time for there. There's a scene where Luke is fighting, and he kind of just dusts off his shoulder, which is kind of a modern thing. Mm-hmm. And there was some of the language seemed a little strange. Even one of the characters saying Godspeed, which I thought was really bizarre in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, you'd say, may the Force be with you. They don't do Godspeed.
Yeah, so I thought that was a really strange move there.
And we don't hear a lot of talk about gods and religion other than the Jedi Order and the Force. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So maybe there's more religions out there when it comes to this, but it just seemed a little bit out of place at times. And then there is the Porgs. Let's talk about the Porgs. I'm going to pull up an image of Porgs. I think that's what they're called, right? These things.
Was their only purpose to be cute?
Okay, so that's what I'm running into. When it comes to Star Wars, and this particular one, we had these cute crystal fox things, and we had these cute Porg things, and It felt like a play for the children. Not so much even like, hey, it's cute, watch this character, it's a fun character. These aren't developed characters at all. These are just animals. And they're just meant to be these merchandising items, which is fine. And we had that in Star Wars a lot. That's not like unknown, but it felt like just totally wrong. Like,
it actually felt like they were added after the fact, too. Because they didn't really factor into the plot. At least the Ewoks were part of the battles and everything. You understood. You know, this there was real. I mean, other than the foxes leading them out in the end, you know, so they could, you know, get to Rey and her amazing Force abilities, which she doesn't need to learn, by the way. She just knows it all.
Yeah.
No training necessary. And, you know, the Force apparently can now do different things, which that comes to a point I don't like. And it's a problem I have with most sci-fi fantasy. Whenever magic is involved in a world, it allows lazy storytelling because, it's magic.
We can do that.
Leia can't die. She can just use the Force, which she's never really used in her life, and pulls herself to safety.
Okay, to be fair, Leia has used the Force in some way that she's somehow linked to Luke. So she does know something's up.
Yes,
and when Han dies, she does have some kind of connection to him.
Yeah, she has sensitivity and feelings, but you've never seen her do something that extreme.
So if for some reason you haven't seen the film and you actually want our explanation as to what's going on, Leia at some point, her ship is blown up and she is sucked out of the ship itself in deep space, because you're in space, because it's Star Wars, right? You're in space. So she gets pulled out and she starts to crystallize, and as she's becoming cold in the merciless temperatures of space, her hand starts twitching, and then she flies back to the ship herself, pounds on the door, so they let her in. So in theory, she has some kind of instinctual Force ability to save herself, which is possible. I'll give you some. Maybe there's this weird adrenaline rush of Force.
I'll give you that, but you know that's not the only time in the movie. You know, we also have Luke projecting his body, or a tangible hologram to another place. And we have Yoda, who we thought was a ghost, actually interacting with lightning and causing a tree to catch fire.
Yeah, so I'm showing some like behind-the-scenes stuff right now, so there's more clips. Not just seeing our smiling, staring faces, but when it comes to this film, like I said, we got Leia's non-death, which, by the way, were you expecting her to die in this movie? Because we never get that.
I totally expected her to die. It's funny that, you know, spoiler alert, Luke dies. You know, they killed Han in the last one, and the person who doesn't die is unfortunately, tragically, the person who died in real life.
Yeah. So I assume that they're going to have to explain this in the 9th one.
It's going to have to be an off-screen thing, I guess. You know, she's on a planet that blows up or a ship that blows up or something.
Yeah, or she just dies off-screen. I mean, I don't know how they're going to work this out. So we have... Yeah. The good question about the Force. So Luke somehow can project himself through time and space. Just through space. It's real time.
Yeah.
And he's elsewhere. He's on the other side of the galaxy, I guess. And he's able to interact with physical objects there and create objects that are tangible.
When he wants to, or he can be intangible. He can choose to be either.
Right. So his interaction with the reality around him is something insane. So the question whether Luke had closed himself off from the Force for how long, we don't know. And he's still capable of doing something like this. And I like the quick little like nods, and you kind of knew something was up because his beard was trimmed and it was brown.
Yeah.
His hair was cut and it was brown instead of all gray and stringy. I'm like,
it was
Luke have time to have a makeover?
Clean himself up? Left? Yeah, he was portraying his best self. Yeah.
And it was a really great question of like, how did he get in here? If nobody can get in, how did he get in here? There's another like hint, he's not really here.
Yeah.
Which was really, I think, a cool idea. I could see what are the rules for Force ghosts? What are the rules for if you can exist after death, can you exist in two different places at once by sending yourself?
And then there's also, looking back, it could have been that he was so close to death that he had already partially passed over and was a Force ghost at that point.
Yeah, he's definitely one with the Force in this thing.
I mean,
totally
more so than anybody. He is supposed to be, up to this point, the most powerful Force user ever. So I'll give you that one.
Yeah, but it's kind of like when you watch Rogue One and you see Darth Vader kicking ass at that minute and 30 seconds, right? And then you see him like kind of staggering around in the 4th episode. You're like, that's not the same dude. I know it's like minutes apart, but like this is like.
Well, it's also the same. The fight choreography in the first 3, and then the fight choreography in the prequels. I mean, it's insane in the prequels. You got Darth Maul and fighting two guys, people flipping over and everything, and then you go to the fourth one, with Obi-Wan, and it looked like they're not even fencing.
It's like and yeah. So we have some rules here, and let's talk about Kylo Ren. Okay, so Kylo Ren has an arc in this movie.
Yes, I do. The character was better than he was in the first movie.
Yes,
Kylo Ren. He was less annoying, in my opinion.
I thought that the idea of Kylo Ren still hating his parents, which he's fine with, and he still couldn't kill his mother, which I thought was kind of a nice little, okay, can't do it. Can't kill good old mom. And then his connection to Rey. Now, this thing was a very bizarre plot device for me when it came to this, hey, they're linked. I'm like, oh, don't make them brother, sister. Please don't make them. And eventually,
and it was good. That part I liked when they finally explained it, because it was all, Snoke playing him, or thinking he was playing him.
Yeah, now I'm going to jump to Snoke here. I'm going all over the place, because Snoke is just dispatched so quickly.
Wasted time. And almost like he's got no power whatsoever.
Not only that, but we get no satisfaction as to who is he? How did he get there?
Where's he from? No, he's just a plot device to bring those two together. That's it. In this movie, that's all he does.
Right. And he had a really cool room, though. I really liked that red room.
He did. If you're gonna have a throne room, that's the way to go.
Wearing that gold robe, wearing that all red everything, it looked really neat. Awesome. I liked that a lot. But yes, he is betrayed by Kylo Ren, and then they engage in a battle with the 6 Imperial guards. It's Rey and
pretty good.
Kylo
One of the
Ren.
better. Yeah.
But no. I'm gonna really bitch about this. Okay, why was nobody, not Rey, not Kylo, neither of these motherfuckers are using force powers, like force pushes, or like
nothing
to avoid being hurt? They're just like, I'm gonna fight you hand to hand with a sword. It's like, Kylo Ren in the first movie stops a laser blast in the air and holds it there as long as he wants to. So he's pretty freaking strong, to the point where Luke Skywalker is so afraid of this guy, he almost kills him as a child. Brilliant. So you're telling me that during this fight scene where there's 6 of them and 2 of you think I'm just going to use my swordsmanship skills?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
They do that a lot, I find, in these movies. They decide to fight with the swords rather than use their force powers.
It's like, okay, look, if I'm a force user and you have a lightsaber, I'm going to just go, I'm going to click it off.
Yeah.
That's all I got to do. I'll use the force to click it off.
Truthfully, a lightsaber battle should be, like you said, the Darth Vader in Rogue One, where he's using both. He's got the lightsaber and he's kicking ass with the force at the same time.
Yeah, use the 2 at the same time, because that is something that you guys can do. And the no satisfaction with Snoke getting the answer that Rey is nobody, if that's the truth, the actual truth.
Yeah,
I think that's a great move.
I think so too. And also, I mean, like we said, they're getting rid of old norms. They destroyed the lightsaber. They cut it in half because the 2 of them were trying to pull the Kylo Ren and Rey were pulling at it with the Force, and it's split in half. So that's gone. No pass there. We got Rey, who's connected to nobody. The only person who's connected to anybody anymore is pretty much Kylo.
Yeah.
Because he's connected to the Skywalkers through his mother. What I did like was when Kylo kills Snoke, it had nothing to do with dark side, light side, anything. It had to do with Kylo looking out for Kylo. Yes. Saying, I'm going to take over. I was like, okay, I can get behind that. I understand that.
I was afraid we were getting this complete mirroring of, it's Darth Vader and he's good now, and
no.
He's gonna do. It's like, no, this is mine now.
That's what I liked. I can understand that motivation. It's not, I'm good, I'm bad. It's I'm out for me, and I was like, I can relate. I can understand that.
Absolutely loved. Like, let's burn everything down. Let's kill everything. I'm like, okay, you're still crazy. I would rather at some point. I'm hoping for episode 9 that Kylo Ren shows some kind of maturity. His hot-headedness, while funny at times, like
still kid.
He's still short-sighted, and that makes for a bad leader. And if he's gonna be defeated by Rey, which I guess he will. But
truthfully, everybody makes a lot of bonehead moves in this movie.
Okay,
people are not too bright in this entire thing.
Yeah, Finn's pretty stupid in this movie, and he doesn't.
Poe's pretty stupid.
Poe's like essentially someone's like, okay, we want an impulsive character, but like really make him really impulsive. It's like, but why? Yeah, he doesn't have to be like that. But they kind of pushed. They kind of turned these guys to like Simpsons level of stupid. It kind of felt like it's like you don't need to do this. I want to say something about the just the scenery on this movie, there was a lot of grounded stuff. While there were a bunch of space battles, there was a lot of stuff on the ground, which I was really surprised by. The whole casino place,
which was fun.
It was nice to see this universe building instead of just being like, there's a blue dot over there, go there. Or there's a green island over there. It's like, no, this is actually a city. Yeah. And there are arms dealers, and you're talking about this. And I didn't recognize Benicio del Toro right away. I was like, all right, this is pretty cool.
He was good. What did you think of the character of Rose?
She's all right, I guess.
I'm like, you don't tell me what Snoke is, but yet I know this girl's entire history.
Yeah, and that medallion, and then this whole thing about the horses. I didn't get that. And she saves Finn from sacrificing himself, which makes no sense. And she doesn't even die. Like, it looks like she's gonna die. Like, oh, she's okay. Just get her a med pack or something. It's like, okay, is anybody gonna die in this movie?
No, someone's gonna die. Luke dies.
Yeah,
but Luke because he chooses to die. He's like, and it's pretty much looks at the sun. Yeah, I'm done. I'm good. See you guys.
I'll say points for Puppet Yoda. Very happy to see that back.
Puppet Yoda looked good, and always cool to see Yoda. Call him Luke a moron. Always a good thing.
Yeah, so I thought... Okay, so was it better than the seventh one? Or this one's 8, right? So yeah, better than 7? I don't think so.
But truthfully, what I liked about it was 7th one really stuck to the roots of the first 3. Mm-hmm. This one said, F that. We're going our own way.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. When it came to Rogue One, they went their own way as well. And that was awesome. They went gritty and realistic for a Star Wars movie, if you think about this.
Yeah.
It was much more militaristic, and you had this thing. And I know that the Star Wars movies, up to this point, are the stories of the Skywalkers. And we're getting to know them, which is fine. But there's not a lot of military intelligence in this movie. And it's just
not a lot of intelligence in this movie.
Yeah, and there is, I think, maybe a little bit too much comedy in this one. I don't think it was. I mean, I watched the original Star Wars. It has a couple of jokes in it. A couple of them. They're in there.
Yeah.
But it's not over the top. This one.
Yeah, this one. It felt like there was a quip every other scene.
Right. I mean, Poe Dameron's funny. Get it. Yeah. Totally get it. Luke might be a little crazy because look, Yoda was always laughing his head off because he probably went stir crazy from being by himself.
Luke's been by himself for a long time, drinking whatever that milk was out of these animals. He could be going a little loopy.
You've got that. You've got the space nuns, whatever that was about.
Yeah.
Which was weird. Yeah. It's like, oh, they're also here. When did they get here? How come they weren't around the last movie? I will say I did get a huge laugh out of what Luke did with the lightsaber when he was handed it.
That was good. That was a good beginning. It's like, I don't give a shit.
The payoff of him just chucking it behind him and just going...
was awesome.
And it's like, okay, well, that's not what I was expecting at all. So, all right. Yeah. At that point, I was really wondering, will he actually have any lines in this movie whatsoever?
That would have been funny. He never said a word.
Oh, that reminds me. As I was taking notes for the movie after, the scenes between Rey and Luke, I thought this movie's 2 hours and 32 minutes. I think they could have probably cut out 10 minutes of that just by those scenes alone. Because they spent a lot of time.
I was reading an article. They already cut 15 minutes of them training other stuff.
No, keep the training part. It's just the idea of like, hey, can you come with me? No. Can you come with me? No. Come with me? No.
Yeah.
It's like,
you mean like the scenes where she's following around like a puppy?
Yeah. Like,
yeah, I get it.
Not necessary. Yeah. And the Rey mirror dream thing, whatever that was, or I guess she's in a pit. That was kind of cool looking. I didn't totally get it, but
no, I mean, truthfully, there's a lot of plot holes. I mean, when you don't explain some characters and things, there's going to be plot holes along the way.
And we had a lot of different stories, and I think one of the things I didn't realize is when Poe meets Rey for the first time at the end of the movie, it is the first time they're meeting. And I'm like, wait a second, they're always in the movies together, but I never think.
But they've never been together. Yeah.
So it was a good scene.
They've never been in the same place. I do have to say, awesome beginning starfight scene with Poe, who gets to be pretty awesome. Mm-hmm.
Throughout,
kicking butt and not taking any direction from any of his leaders, because he's a loose cannon. I don't know if you know this. Poe's a loose cannon. Did you get that?
Wait,
through the course of the movie, did you realize that?
I thought he was like totally on board with everything because he was just fine in the last movie. He was kind of did what they told him to.
Loose cannon. Loose cannon. And by the way,
go ahead.
Captain Phasma, But other than the fact that she wears shiny armor, what's? I mean, come on.
Okay, so I thought, I was telling Liz this. I'm like, okay, is her point to just die every movie? She's like, well, she doesn't die in the first one. I'm like, well, she gets beaten up really easily, and then the second one, she falls for a trick.
I'm like, what is her point? What is her purpose?
She is like Boba Fett. Like, oh, you look really cool, but man, are you useless? Like,
maybe that's what it is. There to look cool, but yeah, that's about it.
I will say that it looked awesome. Seeing that, it was kind of like a Street Fighter scene. You had Phasma on one side, you had Finn on the other, and you could just see the size disparity, how large this Phasma is. She's a big lady, and I don't know if she's in the suit for that scene or not, but this person looked like a giant and just dwarfing. And it looked very imposing, but it's all looks. There's no follow through.
No substance.
You're a captain.
Yeah.
What the hell? Why is this guy, a stormtrooper you've trained, how is he besting you? And his weapon he's using is not his normal weapon either. If I remember right, that was somebody else's. That baton thing was somebody else's. So what is up with that? She is just to look cool. She is Boba Fett.
Yeah, she is Boba Fett, and she is cool. I'll give her that. And she might not be dead. You know, we just see her fall into fire. Who knows how good that armor is?
Well, at least her eye might get messed up because that part of her mask was busted open. And just silliness. And you know what's not silly? Our patrons. You guys are awesome. You guys are still supporting our show. Thank you so much for supporting our show. You're not. If you're seeing these names up here, these aren't the only people backing this show. These are the people who reach the reward level of getting video credit on our shows. So thank you guys for supporting our shows. If you want to see your name here, go to patreon.com/Ayaz and you can join that section, or you could pay a little less. You can put $1, less than $1, 50 cents. I have no idea if they allow you to actually pledge 50 cents, but you can try. Good luck with that. You can try that out at patreon.com/Ayaz and you can support the show. If you can't support the show, well, that's okay. That's what we're here for. We will support the show. We'll hold it up.
Yes.
Right now, holding the show up. I can't raise the roof. It's very, very low. Anyway, so I think when it comes to Star Wars, The Last Jedi, I did see a report somewhere, at least one editorial. They said this could have been the last Star Wars movie. Like, there's really no reason why there needs to be another one. What do you think? No,
and it actually does end. The way it ends is kind of hopeful. You got Luke's gone, but his legacy is spurring these kids to want to get off their little planets and go do more Force things and whatnot. You know, that's totally a decent ending, but I don't know where they're going to go with the next one.
Well, I hope they have more Dakota rings. Fancy rings. When I saw there's a scene where Rose is showing that she's part of the Resistance, and she's got the Rebel ring, and it opens up, and then you can see the Rebel logo, and I'm like, that's really cool, but you're trying to sell me that, right? I can't wait for that to be I'm sure it's a thing now.
Oh, I'm sure it is a thing. I'm sure you could go buy that.
I want to make sure that they give me the Alien Boys broom. I want that official one. I want the official slop bucket. I want the official button that he pushes if he wanted to call it.
What about the little Luke character they're playing with at the end there? You know?
My God, I want that exact one. That's made out of looks like it's actually made out of the bristles of a broom. I want it to scale the exact same way. And I want all of the language that's on the packaging to be whatever that guy was saying. That kid was not speaking English, whatever he was saying, but he did say Luke Skywalker. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's so much of it felt like, at times, we need to make money off of this somewhere else. Can we just stick something else? Yeah, okay. That's cute. Let's go. Let's get that thing back.
Let's put that there. Yeah, that thing.
And by the way, Chewbacca. What the fuck?
So true. Absolutely waste of a character. I look up Absolute waste.
I look up Porg on Google, and there's a picture of Chewie. It's a Funko Pop with a Porg because he's fucking wasted in this entire movie. It's Chewbacca. What does
he do? He flies the Millennium Falcon so Rey can go shoot things. That's his only goal.
Well, here's the thing. When Rey is trying to convince Luke, what the hell is Chewbacca doing the whole time? Now, I had to leave the movie for about 3 minutes to refill a soda. So I do know that there was a scene where Chewie's got a Porg to eat.
Yeah.
He's going to eat one, which I think, knowing Chewbacca from what I know, he'd be fine with this. Doesn't matter how cute something is. Like, didn't he like violently tear apart C-3PO for being a dick?
Yeah. But what kills me in the last one, they used him. He was a character. He showed emotion. He was with Han the whole time. Without Han there, he was nothing. He wasn't even. I don't even remember any parts of the movie where he even did some speaking to somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So his biggest deal was to simply fly Rey around. He did show some cool, I guess, pilot skills and how well he moved.
That was awesome.
But he's just kind of not used. And yeah, in the what is the 7 one called again? Force Awakens. That one, not only does he have dialogue, which we can't understand, his dialogue gets laughs in 7. Like he's actually funny, which makes no sense if you want to put that together.
Right.
They gave like all of his character stuff to BB-8. It looks like here, you be funny. You're still funny. BB-8's still really good in this one.
Yeah.
But Chewie just kind of stands around. It's just kind of like
it's kind of like I said, they really departed from all the previous Star Wars movies.
I would have liked to see Rey complaining to Chewie a little. You know, be like, this guy won't freaking budge. Come on, like, what are we gonna do? Like, just something, just where he's there.
Yeah.
And just generally, just Chewbacca was wasted with these porgs, and the porgs I don't care about, and they don't serve, like we were saying before, they don't serve any function.
No.
To the plot. The Crystal Foxes do, like you said. They do help people out of the... Which was so convenient, by the way. I love that. It's like,
look, there's a planet. But then again, the whole movie, the Laura Dern character is supposed to be heading towards this planet. So I guess that makes sense. This was her plan all along.
I just meant the fact that they had this giant door in this mine that they couldn't get out of. And that's the way in and out. That's it. And there's another one. Another way out. 3PO says... out loud that we've scanned the plans. There's no way out of this other than that door. And then they're like 3 minutes later, there's a way out. It's like, come on,
we just gotta follow this fox.
You just told us.
Oh wait, it's blocked. Oh, but wait, Rey can use the Force and get all the blocks out of the way.
Yeah, and also there's at least 400 of them, I want to say, or whatever survived not getting blasted. So let's say 50. If there's 50 of them, I think they can move some of the rocks. Right?
Yeah,
there's enough of them.
It's cooler to have Rey realize the whole moving rocks thing.
Yeah, that was a good gag. So it's not a bad movie at all.
No, we're busting on it because it needs to be an amazing movie for us to say it's amazing because it has so much importance behind it and it is the flagpole movie. But don't get me wrong, it's entertaining, good fight scenes. Just don't try and go in there expecting it to be like the original trilogy of Star Wars.
I think somebody wrote this online. It's kind of like if they made a Marvel Star Wars movie. That's kind of what we got.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is okay. Which is fine. That's fine. I get it. But it just felt a little tonally weird. Now maybe with 9 it'll be different because now we have. Look, we know that we're sticking with Rey as a protagonist. Luke is out of the picture. Leia's got to be out of the picture. Han is gone. So basically all the old links. I don't know what Chewie's going to be doing. Maybe he'll just be in the background with like a Porg army. I don't know.
Maybe we won't even see him this time. I don't know.
I don't know what's going to happen with that. But anyway, see the movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah, no, go see it. It's a good movie. It's entertaining. We just, had to give you the full review here.
You got everything there. So we're going to get out of here now.
Yes.
So long.
Bye-bye.